So, Justin, Mike, second one of the season for you guys, first one in conference play. Just some final thoughts on the game.
I thought we played pretty well. Just came out and tried to execute coach's game plan, play hard. We knew we had a good chance to do something good, so it was nice.
For you, seemed like you hit a lot of threes in this game. Really, some clutch ones when it was time to extend the lead in the second half. What went into your mindset tonight? Just a full shooters, I'm gonna keep going while I'm hot mindset.
Kind of pretty much. Throughout the timeouts and stuff, coaches kept getting on me to play harder and stuff. So they told me to keep going and how much they needed me to step up big. So that's what I did, stepped up.
And Mike, for you, it seemed like you were battling down low all night with guys that may have had a little bit of a size advantage on you. How tough is it to go up against guys like that maybe have a couple of pounds on you and are trying to push you around on the low block?
Yeah, just Coach Hill's been talking to me. You just got to play tougher. It's a lot of mental. You got to outwork them basically. Get yourself in a good position to get the rebound and go up and grab it.
9 games into the season now for you guys. Feel like you're getting a little bit more comfortable with each other out there on the floor, knowing where each other's going to be and where you like the ball and what spots?
Yeah, we struggled bad in the beginning, but towards the end, like against Finley and Hillsdale, we played tougher. Like we started getting more. And I think tonight, even though we lost, but tonight we came back. Last 2 days of practice were real good. Everybody's playing harder, playing better. So I think we're starting to click now, real good.
Last question for you guys. The defense looked real strong tonight. You were able to get your hands in the passing lanes a lot and really tip the ball and get a lot of steals tonight. Was that a big focus point coming out of the holiday break?
Definitely. Coach always stresses defensive rebounding. That's what wins games, and he's trying to get it through our heads that that's what the most important thing is, and I think we're all starting to buy in.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Second one of the season for you guys. First one in conference play, ends a 7-game losing streak. Just some final thoughts after the game.
Well, it always feels good to win. I was looking back. It's been I don't think it's ever happened, but it's been a long time to survive a losing streak like that for me in my coaching career. But that's where we're at in the rebuilding process, and I was just excited tonight. It was not pretty. We're not going to win pretty this year, but our guys played really hard. I thought that their effort was outstanding. And if you look at the stats, it's the first time we've out-rebounded a team yet this year. We ended up with 12 offensive rebounds. We have 10 steals. There was a number of 50-50 balls that we got to. We were able to create 18 turnovers. We just, overall, I think, just did a nice job of really buying into, hey, listen, we need to play with effort in order to win. Hopefully some of the other things we can try to do to fine-tune our basketball game will take place. And, TIffin kind of makes you play a little ugly just because, they press all the time and you can't really run offense that well. But, I'm happy for our guys because, when you work that hard, you want to be rewarded with getting a win here and there too.
Now, Coach, you talk about the 18 turnovers you guys forced, the 10 steals. Seemed like you were really getting hands in a lot of the passing lanes tonight, really stripping at the ball. Is that something you focused on over the holiday break and in practices coming into the new year?
We certainly did. Just the simple fact, we are undersized, and if we need to be able to dig into the post. We got to dig from the weak side. We talked 2 or 3 days here about this team that they are a team that really likes to go one-on-one, and they have some very good individual players. So, the more we could do to really be active and control the paint and pack the paint, the better off we were going to be. And like I said, I think our guys did a great job of that tonight.
It seemed like Noel hit some big threes for you there in the second half when you were really trying to get out and extend that lead. Just talk about his performance here tonight.
It was great to see. We've been waiting for him to really make that next step. I was never excited about those 13 days off. We had 13 days off, and I really didn't want to do it, but I think it was great for him. He went home. I think he refocused a little bit. He came back, and he's been really good in practice. And again, it's always the same thing. You're good in practice, you end up playing really well in games. And it was just great to see him have a big offensive explosion. We needed it.
Now, it seemed like down the stretch, a little bit surprising that they started fouling at the 3-minute mark left in the game. You guys were up by 15 at that point. They trying to harp a little bit on the free throws and see whether you guys could make them. Is that something you also have been trying to work on?
I think so. What they ended up doing is they fouled Terry Nash. And Terry coming in the game was shooting less than 40% from the free throw line. So from a statistical perspective, they're like, okay. And I was a little surprised because we're already in a double bonus. It's one thing if it's 1-on-1, but even if you're exchanging baskets that way, it makes it pretty tough. Terry goes and he's 8-8, stepped up to the line and made the free throws. So a little early, but again, that's everybody's prerogative of what they want to do.
Seems like the guys really tonight kind of figured it out and came together a little bit, seemed to be more comfortable with where each other are on the floor. Are you starting to see that as well in practices and coming into this game?
I think so. We're not there yet. There's a lot of moments in the game where I'm talking to my assistants like, what are we doing? It's a little frustrating, but the first thing is first. If we can get effort and get them to play hard, and actually, and I think you're right, really buy in and be all in for each other, which I think they did a good job of tonight. We can correct the mistakes and hopefully get better. And I think that really takes game experience. In that we were a little nervous too. If we finally had a lead, now it's like, well, what are we going to do with it? And you could see us kind of do a little panic a couple of times. But again, as it went on, I saw some really good things.
Now you take a look forward to Saturday. Now you have an Ohio Dominican team coming in. What have you seen from them so far this season? How do you look to attack the Panthers coming up on Saturday?
A real well-coached team. It's a new coach there. They've had a number of players that have played for a couple of years and not had much success, and now back a new system. They've done some really good things. A little different than the team that we played tonight in that they're much more of a motion team. They're not going to really pick up in the full court, really pretty much a half-court man-to-man. So it'll be a little more of us trying to pick up the tempo on them, vice versa the night where we were just somehow trying to slow it down so it didn't become just a street battle up and back.
It looked like you guys were able to handle the press fairly well tonight. There were some times where it got a little sticky and hairy there for you, but other than that, it seemed like your guards did a nice job of finding the open guy when they needed to and staying out of trouble.
I thought they did. We had Marcus Hall had a couple of struggles and a few possessions, and again, that's a freshman learning what you have to do. It was about 2 or 3 times. He beats the press, he takes one dribble and picks it up. You have to look to attack, get it to the baseline. And those are all lessons, again, that a lot of these guys have to learn. You got to understand, again, we're talking about a ton of guys that have very little 4-year college experience. So it's a lot easier to learn when you're winning than end up trying to do it and keep on getting your head beat in by losing.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you.